Today we are talking Avengers Infinity War,
The TV series Ghosted.
Invincible Iron Man number 600, and Tony Stark Iron Man number 1.
And Fortnite.
All here on Geekly Review.
Here we go.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Geekly Review. We are your hosts, I'm Andrew.
I'm Jay.
And again, welcome back to Geekly Reviews. This is second episode, but really technically it's like the first.
Yeah, it's kind of the first. This is the first one we're going to get to see our first breakdown. So we're going to have 4 different segments for you guys. Like we said before, 1 movie, 1 video game, 1 TV series, and a comic book series. So today we're going to kick it off with Infinity War.
Yeah, Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah. So this goes back way back, but to 2008 with the first Iron Man movie that came out. So they've been building this whole series up since then.
Yeah, man, 10 years. Long
10
time.
years running, yeah.
10 in like, 20 something movies, like 21 movies?
It's
something
been a
like
lot.
that.
Yeah.
So
like I said, it kicked off with the first Iron Man movie where they had, I think it's the first little teaser at the very end with Nick Fury in it.
Yeah.
And that kind of paved the whole way to this one moment, one event, this movie up and coming. So we have the first part, and obviously the second part is going to come out next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean.
So yeah, man, we'll just start talking about it, man. Like, what do you... overall impressions, first impressions. What do you think, man?
First impressions. When I first was watching this movie in the theaters, I was blown away. I thought it was a fantastic movie. From the first scene all the way to the very end, it was very, very, very good.
Yeah, man. For sure, man. We saw it in Dolby, AMC Dolby Theater with Infinity War, man. Those big spectacle movies like that, it's definitely cool, man. It's a big experience.
Be a big game changer. It can kind of change the experience of how you see the movie.
Especially with big crowds, man. You got cheering and everything like that. It makes the experience a lot cool.
Yeah, no one cheered in my theater. But honestly, I was surprised. My favorite characters in this movie were Doctor Strange.
Dude, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he was...
Dude's a beast in this movie,
yeah, he
man. Doctor Strange is cool, man. He's kind of becoming... like one of my favorites in the Marvel universe.
He was awesome. He was the only person on screen that I was watching fighting Thanos that I thought could possibly go toe to toe with him.
Yeah,
this guy actually has a chance, and it kind of showed throughout the movie. Like he wasn't intimidated by him at all.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, quick, warning, whatever. The podcast is going to be like full spoiler.
This will be a spoiler review. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, probably watch before you hear this, but if you don't care about spoilers, well,
it's been out like 2 months and made like over $2 billion. So if you're watching this, you've probably seen it.
We assume you guys have seen it since then, but
we're gonna have like in the description of the episodes like the time of the segments we're talking about. So if you honestly haven't seen Infinity War and want to hear about what we're talking about next, you can check to see what time the other segments are going to start and skip ahead. But
so that'll all be in the description below. So if you guys want to check it out, look at the description below. It'll have what we're talking about, the time it starts. So you can just skip right to that part.
Sorry, guys. So yeah, go right back into it, man.
So this movie has, I almost want to say, an overload of superheroes in it. There's just a lot of characters. So a lot of characters you wish would have more screen time probably don't get as much screen time as you'd like. But I mean, it's okay. The movie as a whole flows. Yeah. There's really no pacing issues for me at all. It was good.
Man. No slow parts at all. I mean, right off the bat, it kicks off hard, dude. Just showing Thanos, man, dude.
Dude, Josh Brolin killed it as Thanos. He was amazing.
Thanos is insane. And just the way he looks is insane. Like, the mocap that they're doing now, man.
It's crazy. They've come a long way.
I know. I mean,
very, very long
Golem, way. Like, what? When was Lord of the Rings? Like,
Fellowship of the Ring came early 2000, though. Was it 99? or 2001. If you guys know, comment below.
Yeah, 2000, 2001. That sounds about right, man. Almost, dang, like about 18 years ago, man.
Yeah, so it's come a long way since
and
then.
that looked awesome back then, but dude, Thanos now, man. Thanos,
every facial expression they got from him, his grin, you can see the curl in his lips, his eyes, it was so well done.
Dude, yeah. And I mean, he comes out swinging, dude, just right off the bat. This dude's a beast.
Okay, that was, honestly, if I had to pick a few gripes, this is one of them. What they did to the Hulk in this movie. So Hulk comes out, he starts basically just tearing into Thanos, beating him up pretty bad, and then Thanos just
he's just
wears
toying.
it.
He's just toying with him though, man. He's toying with the Hulk the whole time. He's like, yeah, whatever.
And then he just beats down the Hulk, and the Hulk's just sitting on the floor.
Just pinpoints, just the little movements he does, like he just pinpoints, man, everything.
He basically embarrasses the Hulk, which we haven't seen that happen to the Hulk in any movie thus far.
Yeah,
at least to that caliber. So that was kind of a gripe for me. The Hulk to me has always been a character that, if you beat him up more, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
That's true. Yeah.
This one, he just kind of didn't get angry or stronger. He just got beat up.
I mean, for the most part, I do tend to agree. I like it. I don't want to give it too much judgment yet. I want to kind of see
how they bring it back. The
culmination, like the entirety of the thing. Because you kind of know he's going to come back with a vengeance.
We hope so, because I thought that throughout the entire movie, but he didn't. Throughout the whole movie,
that was the weird thing.
You don't see the Hulk the rest of the movie.
He's trying to bring him out.
Yeah, from time to time. Banner's talking to him in his head, and he's like, "Why won't you come out?" The Hulk.
So, yeah,
he's afraid. Thanos made him afraid, and
I
didn't like that. I can honestly say I did not like that.
We have it is a different Hulk than kind of a lot what we see in the comics. If this was like Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, stuff from the comics, for sure, he would just get angrier and angrier. But it's just what it seems like it's kind of been building up. Maybe since like Age of Ultron, he's kind of like more emotional kind of. He's shown intelligence in the comics.
Yeah,
but the way this happened is very much more like.
And you really see that in Thor Ragnarok, where he kind of has more of a personality and, like I said, more emotion than we usually see from the Hulk.
So that's just kind of the direction he's going. He's like, hey, he got rocked this time, and now he's like, whoa.
Maybe it's a psychological thing for the Hulk, because he's never experienced that before. So now he has to deal with having someone overpower him physically, and he doesn't know how to deal. So maybe that's what we kind of have with this movie. But so that's disappointing. On the other hand, you have Thor. was amazing in this movie. He was so cool.
Almost the same thing, getting rocked pretty
yeah, but
early.
Talking about coming back with a vengeance.
Dude.
Yeah, Thor did not stay down at all. You probably think he dies, and then he comes back, and actually that's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie is he gets founded by the Guardians of the Galaxy in space, and that whole entire segment with him in the Guardians of the Galaxy, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I loved it. A lot of that was improv too,
great
by the actors, and they did a good job.
All of it. Man.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Thor, dude's again probably. He's coming back with, the last couple movies, man, with Thor, just with Ragnarok and now this one, just he's got his place now. Like
Ragnarok, we'll probably do a review on that one as well. It's a good movie. We'll talk more in depth about that one. But yeah, the Thor movies have really gotten better. I honestly will say the first Thor was not really my favorite. Kind of a boring movie, to be honest with you. It was
it was cool. Visually cool with Asgard and everything like that. But,
it was a visually great movie.
The Rainbow Bridge, like all that stuff with Asgard was beautiful back, and then.
Yeah.
But man.
Those movies have come a long way, at least since Ragnarok and then Thor in this movie. He's been a good character. They kind of shifted more towards a comedy base with Thor's character.
It's done so well,
it's
though,
not,
man.
It's not a bad direction at all.
No,
I agree. It's a great direction.
And it balances with the awesomeness of them too, with the sheer power, and it's
and honestly the timing of it wasn't bad, because you have the Guardians movies that are completely based on comedy and action second, comedy first, And Thor just integrated so well with their characters and their scenes, and he kind of added to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he kind of enhanced the comedy of the Guardians.
Yeah, so I mean, no different in this movie. He comes off with again Loki, kind of finally biting the dust there. With Loki.
Yes, for now. I mean, you never know with Loki, but yeah, for Loki does die in this movie.
I kind of got a feeling that
that's it for him.
The characters that like kind of die like in the movie. I kind of have a feeling they're done.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of death.
But then Thor just going on the whole thing, trying to replace his Mjolnir. Mm-hmm. Then finally you get Stormbreaker.
That scene was awesome.
I mean that whole thing was awesome. And then just the whole the thing with the star and with Peter Dinklage character.
Oh, that was cool. Did not see that coming with
the dwarf. Man, making Stormbreaker, that whole thing was cool.
Yeah.
And then when he finally shows up at the climactic battle.
That's another thing that kind of bugged me about the whole climactic battle. Is okay, so you have Thanos on the scene for the battle. All of the other Avengers and Marvel characters are sitting there fighting him. You have Thor, who's also there. But for some reason, he's the last one to show up to fight Thanos. I mean, his whole purpose for going there was to take on Thanos. And he's the last one to get there. I didn't really understand that.
I guess he had to get there. Maybe it was poor dramatic too.
It was all set up for movie. Like, I understand that completely. But you're
like a Tide Turner type of a thing, like a moment, kind of like that.
It was all set up for that big moment where he shows up and throws it in.
And that line, man, is like, "Bring me Thanos."
Yeah, but then it takes 2 hours to get to him.
He's got to fight through a horde of whatever massive monster creatures.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of Marvel characters in this movie. For all you Black Panther fans out there, I'm sorry, but Black Panther gets Krillin in this movie. He faces Thanos for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He gets Krillin. He does. I don't think he lands a blow. He gets pushed aside, and then he's out for the rest of the movie.
I mean,
he
takes out quite a bit of the little guys.
The henchmen. He faces the main bad guy, and then boom, he's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't do much.
No, so I'm sorry, Black Panther fans, but that's kind of the sad truth for him in this movie.
Yeah, his supporting cast, I guess, got a little bit more in this.
The rest of the Black Panther,
his sister Shuri and the head of the guard.
Yeah, and then their whole entire nation.
Just the Wakanda in general.
Gets a whole entire segment for itself in the movie, so that's cool.
Yeah. Man, but then you got things going all over the place with all before leading up to that with like Stark, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man all out in space.
That fight scene was awesome. That was probably my favorite fight scene in the entire movie.
That Titan scene was
even better than the last fight scene. The last fight scene was still pretty cool, but that fight scene between Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, and Star-Lord.
Star-Lord has a close scene in that part too. Yeah, they all take on Thanos, and just so cringing to watch Iron Man during that fight.
Cringing?
Because everyone goes into that movie, or at least I went into that movie, and a lot of people I talked to going into that movie expected Tony Stark to die in this movie.
Oh.
So during that whole fight, I'm like, is this how he's gonna die? Is this how he's gonna die? So it was awesome, and yet, like I said, cringing to watch because I wanted to see Tony Stark do something awesome, but then I was like,
no, don't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see him die. And then there's a scene where you think he's going to die because he basically gets skewered.
Impaled, yeah.
Impaled. And you're like, oh, damn, that's how he goes.
And then, no, man, Doctor Strange, man, he saw it all.
God, he was awesome.
Man. Yeah, that whole thing with the time, seeing all, like thousands and...
Oh, yeah, the thousands of scenarios that could possibly take place for them, and only one of them has them being victorious, so... You're kind of thinking what happened at the end is the only path Doctor Strange saw as being the successful one. So everything that happened in this movie happened for a purpose. At least that's what kind of it's leading itself up to think. So we'll find out in the next one.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. Okay.
And then the ending part for me. Okay, so when I first watched it,
Snap. You talking about that?
Yeah, and everyone just died. Okay, well, his theater cheered.
Erased.
My theater did not cheer. So
Well, no, they didn't cheer during the snap.
got a heartless theater reunion.
They cheered like when like the scene like when Thor arrived with Stormbreaker, like stuff like that, man.
I thought it was like one of the end of the movie, like Star Wars fans.
Oh
the
no,
ends
man!
And
That theater weird. They was dead silent.
Yeah, my theater too. Whenever that movie ended, like people didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel. I was like, "What just happened? Did I watch the Thanos movie or did I watch Avengers: Infinity War?" Because it honestly felt like it was a Thanos movie. Like he was like the main character. We get to watch his up and coming of
just his motivations and the whole thing.
And I did like that. I mean,
it wasn't.
I mean, a lot of people complain about the backstory because there's really no strength behind it. Because if he really wanted to help overpopulation between planets, and that he would just create more resources for them, he wouldn't have to wipe out half of it. So I mean, there are flaws in his reasoning, but
it is kind of a lot of villains, though. I mean, that is
I mean, he technically is a villain, so there are going to be flaws in his wants. So we get that. With this movie, a more in-depth explanation as opposed to I just want power, I want to rule over all. We kind of delve more into what he actually has, almost a
passion, like
a humane cause to what he wants to do. I'm not going to unfortunately there are going to be flaws in that, but I mean overall, I think the movie did a good job about kind of creating a whole
and the emotion this guy displays too. This everything, like you think this guy's like a heartless, like
you think so, and then he. Actually, saw him cry during the movie.
Yeah, the whole thing. His true feelings for Gamora and like his which was also awesome. Bringing back the Red Skull.
That was really cool. Does kill her. I mean, feelings or not, he does do the dirty deed. But
I don't know. It's not gonna stop him. But
that scene with the
Red Skull.
Red Skull was awesome.
That was cool. Bringing
Did not
him
expect
back.
to see him in there.
No, that was. That was like a head turner, like no way, like people next to you, like no,
Captain America's reveal in that movie is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a pretty epic moment. They come and save, Vision and Scarlet Witch. That was pretty dope. Captain America stuff. Even the climactic battle was maybe a little over the top for Captain America. I mean,
when he caught his fist, you mean?
Yeah, these dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, he can do a lot of things.
He's super
soldier, but.
He's superhuman, but that's
holding back a full punch from Thanos with Infinity Stones in it, like
that kind of gave Cap a little more credit than maybe he deserved that scene, but it was still kind of
cool, man. I love Chris Evans.
He's still got overpowered in the end.
Yeah, man, that character is awesome, and it kept it up too in this one. Even though it's not as highlighted as some of the other ones, but still.
Yeah, no, he kind of had a main role to play.
Yeah,
I mean, they did a good job incorporating all the characters throughout the movie. It was a good balance throughout the entire movie.
Spider-Man was awesome. We haven't talked about Spider-Man yet.
Spider-Man's awesome. He had his
the Iron Spider suit.
That was cool to see. That was really awesome. Cool to see.
And just his whole just Spider-Man being Spider-Man, like is kind of
his alien references.
All the pop culture references.
Yeah, I love those.
That was really odd. But man, the first scene with like Star-Lord and Peter, like,
on the Footloose,
the Footloose thing, just going back and forth. Man, a lot of the comedy on this landed really well.
It's getting good writing. The
there
comedy is getting
some that kind of fell flat. I remember there was a line about like Starbucks or something. Like it was in like Wakanda or something. Or like girls figured it out a Starbucks or something. I don't know, it was some dumb line, but most of it was pretty awesome.
That's some good comedy in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, all the Guardians parts were really, really good. Spider-Man had some good lines into it. Yeah.
What do you think about what's your thoughts on like the whole Star-Lord, like the decision and
I get it. It's a whole movie setup. Like they made him do it for the fact that they got the gauntlet off of him the whole movie to end like that. So they had to make a climactic, dramatic scene with Star-Lord breaking down for finding out about Gamora. That's
right.
I mean, I understand from a writer's point of view why they did
a lot
that.
of people think it's like because they don't believe it, like they don't think like their love is really that deep. But
I don't see how you can say that. It's
I don't know, man. I kind of feel, especially from Guardians 2, like
I mean, it's Star-Lord's character. That's how he shows
and that,
emotion.
And that is part of his character.
So if he does care about her, he's not going to really display it all out there for her to see. So it's
right.
I think,
and there's probably a decent amount of time skip between Guardians 2 and Infinity War. I mean, obviously it happens right after Thor Ragnarok, but there could have been time skip. There's plenty of time for them to like really establish the relationship. I didn't really find
that wasn't
that
like an
about
issue for me at all. I know I saw some things before where they're trying to say, is Star-Lord the villain of the movie? That's really using the word villain kind of loosely, if you ask me, because villain to me is someone who intentionally does evil or wrong on purpose. Right. And it's not like he was trying to make Thanos win in that scene. He just got emotionally overpowered and did something he probably shouldn't have. But still, it wasn't like he did it on purpose to try to lend a helping hand to Thanos. Yeah. So to call him a villain, I think is a little over the top.
A little much, yeah.
Was he a cause that helped Thanos win? Yeah, maybe, but I wouldn't label him a villain.
Strange knew about it. Knew it all.
Strange did.
And Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys don't like Doctor Strange, like maybe you didn't like the movie because you kind of found it boring, which I did not. I thought the movie was fantastic.
I love
but
Doctor Strange,
if you don't like Doctor Strange because of the first movie, watch him in this movie. You will get a completely different outlook on him. He was a really, really cool character.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yeah, if you guys want our opinions, I really liked the movie. I thought it was great. Jaw-dropping end. Yeah. Action throughout, good comedy. Dead silence. It really did well from taking 10 years of movies and putting it into kind of one part of a whole entire cinematic universe, which we have. I think this is the first time it's ever been done like this.
Oh yeah, big time.
So I think for this
and
first
probably
attempt,
one of the last, according to more like their negative. I think they just came out and said, "Hey, we're not doing nothing like this again."
It takes time. It's hard. Dedication, actor dedication. I mean, we had one change. I think that was Rhodey. He changed from, I forget the first actor's name. Into Don Cheadle.
Howard, Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else who's really changed actors in the movie.
Actor? Oh no.
I think he's the only one who kind of. It has to be dropped the ball on that one because you're set up for life if you're in a Marvel movie. And was it a money issue?
I don't remember, man. It was something like that. That was a long time ago. So yes.
Other than that, I mean, you have all these actors dedicating 10 years of their lives to play these roles, and then you get to this one.
And a testament to like all these actors too, man. I mean, it's come like they've kind of released stuff where like a lot of this movie, like the script was kept secret. So much for these like some of these stuff, like I think like Tom Holland and like Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Holt, like a lot of them didn't know like what was gonna happen to their characters until literally like they're like, okay, we're shooting it right now. Yeah. Here's what happens. Here's a line. Go act. Yeah. I mean, to display that emotion, like all of a sudden, like you read it and you know.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, man. Like, just shout out to all the actors in these movies.
No, seriously.
Making these characters come to life. It's.
They've done a really, really good job, and I've been impressed with all of them.
Yeah, big time, man. So, yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, a lot of this was, a lot of this I kind of expected was coming. I mean, I know, like, from the Infinity Gauntlet comics and stuff like that, a little bit about it, and it adapted all this stuff really well from that, taking elements of those stories, plus with everything that's been happening in the movies. Yeah, man, they're doing a bang up job. I loved it.
Yeah, and I agree. They've done, especially with this one. I think, like I said, taking 10 years of movies and putting it kind of into one big almost ending because it was 2-part. This movie was really, really good.
Yeah.
You could really drop the ball in a movie like this, and they did not.
Oh no, yeah, not at all. It was great.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. If you have seen it, let us know what you think about it. Put it in the comment section below.
Yeah, you want us to expand on anything, give a quick little thing, future episodes or something. But yeah,
any questions, more input, definitely. All right, guys, the TV show Ghosted.
Yeah, Ghosted. So yeah, kind of chose this one for, I guess, this week. I mean, the second half of this season just kind of came back on the last couple of weeks. So
yeah, we thought we'd give you guys a talk about it, and
yeah, it's a show we're kind of digging.
Yeah, I like it a lot, actually. Yeah, it's airs on Fox, and
so it's Craig Robinson and Adam Scott.
It's a comedy, paranormal investigating type show.
Yeah, sci-fi / comedy.
Yeah, it's a little different. The paranormal kind of stuff is what drew my attention to it, and plus also like Adam Scott and Craig Robinson as actors. So yeah, I was kind of excited to start watching it, and when I did, I was pleasantly surprised. It's really good.
Yeah, actually, it's not bad. Yeah. Like a little 30-minute comedy show.
If you're looking forward to a big insightful story, this is not the show, but it's the first few episodes just kind of starts off by segment. Like it has its first, like each episode is kind of its own thing. It kind of just building the characters, kind of showing what the show's about. But it's entertaining, and entertaining. They have good chemistry. I feel the characters have very, very good chemistry together, and it's funny. Yeah, the creatures are cool. It's overall just entertaining. I guess the best way to put it is just an entertaining TV show.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess basic rundown is just kind of like, Craig Robinson used to be like a cop. He's like LAPD cop, and then Adam Scott's character was like a professor and like a physics professor. They both kind of fell on like hard, like things went wrong, and they
used to be the best in their field, had a stroke of bad luck, and now they're like in low dead end jobs.
Yeah.
And then they get discovered by this, what are they called?
The Bureau Underground. It's like a secret government agency that just investigates paranormal activity on Earth.
So you get to meet a group of wacky characters with their
supporting
team.
Cast is pretty funny too.
They are.
The little kind of has like the one nerdy, kind of like your stereotypical
nerdy character in there,
and then the
stereotypical like hot girl. She's
female,
in it too.
like the take charge type of a thing.
And like one of the main characters has a crush on her. So you kind of go through that whole spiel with them, and then Adam Scott's wife is she an alien?
It's not really said yet. She's just like, it's kind of like, I don't know, like she ran out on him or something, or she went missing. Like for.
Well, didn't he think she got abducted by aliens?
Oh, that's right. She thought she got abducted by aliens.
Yeah, so everyone thinks he's crazy because of that.
And that's kind of where it went off, like for him in his like previous career. But and then she kind of came back up in that what was that, like the mid-season finale?
Yeah. I think she was like in an interrogation room.
Yeah, and then she's like, don't find. She just like
breaks out.
Yeah, breaks out, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so the show's funny. Supporting cast is good. Main characters are good. Adam Scott, if you guys don't remember him, he's Boy Meets World, and.
Oh, that was good. I didn't really. I watched like bits and pieces of that show. Like I was never like
which is a very, very small. He was like a bully or like the tough guy. You can imagine that. And then what else is he being in? Step Brothers.
Oh yeah, movie wise, he's broke through. Yeah, Step Brothers and.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he was in. Was he in that one or no?
I don't remember. I forget.
No, actually, I might be confused with somebody else. Yeah, I don't think he's in that one.
He pops up in a bunch.
And then Craig Robinson, we all know Craig Robinson. He's Pineapple Express.
Yeah. This is the end. All that stuff. Yeah, those movies. But I mean, it's pretty funny. Like I said, like the first half of the season was kind of episode by episode. Each one has kind of had its own little quirk. Like one episode
theme, like has like the different thing they're hunting for that episode, and then
hunting is one where it's like all about AI, and it like special guest star like Dak Shepard. He was kind of like I don't know, I guess like a Skynet type of like AI type of thing. So yeah, each individual episode is kind of cool. And now it's about 4 episodes into the second half of the season.
And these ones have all really tied together.
Yeah,
so unlike the first part where it was like you said, episode by episode, you learn about different things they're hunting. This one they came back with.
They kind of find out like their bureau is like bugged, like and everything like that, and it's kind of like this ongoing mystery now of each episode, each little bit. So it's kind of like a cohesive story, and it's cool. I'm liking it when it's like kind of.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So for first season comedy, it's not. Yeah, it's not bad. Usually, comedy shows you have to give it a little bit, like kind of to establish the characters.
Yeah, find his groove.
Shine, but I mean.
This one I think they found it pretty early. So I love the characters' chemistry. Adam Scott plays well with Craig Robinson. They're good. Their banter's good.
Yeah.
They play off each other well. Even the supporting cast plays off them well. It's a good show. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So far I'm entertained, at least. Like I said, this new part's very, very interesting. They're getting spied on by a taco shop. And...
Yeah. The taco shop. And then it's like going even further. Like the one they had the psychic. They bring in like a psychic, talking to everybody thinks like she's nuts, like doesn't believe her, and like Adam Scott's the only one, or no wait, Adam Scott's the one that kind of he was the skeptical one.
He's a skeptical one. Everyone else.
Craig Robinson's the one that used her before.
Yeah, they used to use her in the police force. Yeah, she helped them solve crimes or find a little boy in a well or something like classic.
Something like that, but he's the psychic, and then it like culminates like at Adam Scott, like, and then they're all afraid to go home because they
get stuck in their bunker. She basically says one of you will die when you drive home today, so nobody wants to leave.
Yeah.
And then I think Adam Scott's the one who stays the longest.
Yeah, and then finds out something. There's like some manufacturing company, might be behind the whole thing.
Oh, that rich guy?
Yeah, the rich guy. So like the old boss. Well, the boss that was the original thing, and that's another thing that brought in the second half of the season. They kind of the actress that was playing the boss. They kind of demoted her. Brought in the guy from Transformers.
Yeah, the dad from Small Soldiers. If you guys can think back that far.
Yeah, Sam Witwicky's dad.
Transformers dad, yeah.
He's kind of like taking over the thing now, just like a super. I still don't get his character. Like it's almost like he's got.
They set him up to where you think he might be the one spying on them.
Yeah, or part of it. You're like trying to keep it under wraps.
I don't think he is, because he doesn't care about them at all, or their secrecy to their underground.
Right. Yeah. Because that's the latest episode that came out. Is like they get outed. Like an article goes on the internet of this.
Basically, his thought process is they do such ridiculous things anyway that no one is even going to take them seriously. So why keep it secret? So that's why they kind of introduced his character, but.
It's still kind of ongoing, man. I'm still
We'll see how it plays out. But we'll keep you guys posted if we keep watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below
we'll definitely keep watching it. For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys check it out, you guys let us know what you think.
Yeah. Right, guys. So next segment, we're talking about comics. So this week we're talking about Invincible Iron Man number 600.
600, yeah.
And then Tony Stark Iron Man number 1. So kind of the reason why we kind of chose this one for this week. So a lot of the storylines with as far as Iron Man, Spider-Man, Daredevil, they all kind of hit like the big milestone issues recently over the last few months. Like I said, Invincible Iron Man 600.
That was also the last issue with the writer. And
so that was. That's kind of why we kind of landed on Iron Man. It was kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. So Brian Michael Bendis, kind of a titan in the writer for Marvel, man. He's spanning a career there for almost 20 years, man. Like 2000, maybe late 90s, he's going almost on 20 years as a writer for Marvel. And then this was his final issue, number 600 for Iron Man. Mm-hmm. So, it was a big deal. So, we kind of wanted to talk about that one for this week. Yeah, man. So
go into what'd you think about it? How'd you like it?
600? 600. It's definitely interesting. It was pretty good. I haven't kept too much up with reading like a lot of the Iron Mans like prior to it.
Yeah, honestly, neither have I.
It was kind of off and on. I mean, I caught a little bit with some of the major events going on. But yeah, so basically,
this one started off. Well, it started off kind of with an AI Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's an AI Tony Stark. So basically, he back in when basically got put into a coma. So Civil War II happened. The whole big old thing with that revolving around an Inhuman called Ulysses. Kind of a Minority Report type power he ended up having. He can kind of get visions of things that might possibly happen. And it kind of created a rift between Tony Stark and Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel was kind of full blown like, okay, we need to use this. Like we can do this. Like she was like kind of in for you like using them.
Yeah.
To do it. And Stark was against it. I'm not going to go into a lot of stuff happened. Kind of culminated in a fight between the two at the end. Put Tony Stark into a coma. So then kind of things happen. Yeah, the AI kind of happened with him. Like it's still, and then because then after that kind of had Riri Williams kind of take over as Ironheart.
And she was the one talking to the AI Tony Stark, right?
Yeah, so the AI it was kind of like a teacher. It was like a kind of a mentor, like an AI of Tony Stark teaching her.
And what I found what I liked what they did with that was the whole common like Skynet and other super intelligent AI things that they introduce in movies and stories and stuff. They usually want to wipe out the human race to save the human race from themselves, or they see themselves as a superior being, so they should be the ones who are on top of the food chain. This AI did not. They acknowledged that, and they completely went a different route with it. Right. I thought that was kind of cool. I like that.
While keeping the Tony Stark, like,
arrogance
and ego.
His narcissism was completely entailed into this AI. So it kind of felt like Tony Stark, but computerized
Tony
Stark, yeah. So I did like how they did that with the...
Yeah, so it kind of starts out with that, and then there's another storyline where it's basically Rhodey, War Machine, gets killed by Thanos.
Thanos kills him,
and Stark basically revives him.
Punches him to death, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like a punch or something. Kills him, but Stark is like kind of had like this. Kind of weird, I guess I don't know, like a weird science type of
like a Frankenstein.
Type it was very Dr. Frankenstein-y.
They don't dwell too much into it. Basically, the AI is commentating over while Tony Stark is doing this, and he's saying that there really is no bounds that the human race has, that they'll do anything that they feel they need to do. And while he's saying this, Tony Stark is bringing Rhodey back to life, and he successfully does it. And they keep referencing back to how he hopes that Rhodey doesn't become a zombie.
Yeah. So I mean, they definitely throw in this humor in there. They got it. They kept it going. And so then it kind of they revives Rhodey, and then it kind of goes on with what's been going on at just kind of like Stark Industries and thing. It has like Leonardo da Vinci.
That was weird. They didn't explain that in that issue at all.
He just said little tidbits in here and there. It's like, how are you? They kept asking, like, how are you alive? And he's like, I figured out how time and space works. So
that was their explanation. Yeah, they had Leonardo da Vinci in there, and they made sure it wasn't the Ninja Turtle. That was a little reference thrown in there.
Yeah, got a little remark how he's like helped found S.H.I.E.L.D. too. He was like, so he's like,
in case you guys didn't know, Da Vinci discovered S.H.I.E.L.D. Or
he might discover the S.H.I.E.L.D.
Is that Mario or Da Vinci?
It's Da Vinci.
Okay.
/ Mario. So it kind of goes through all of that, and then in the meantime, in the International Iron Man, I think that's what the series was called, International Iron Man, it made a big revelation, also written by Bendis, that Howard Stark and his mom, I forget what was his mom's name.
I can't remember.
Crap, but they're not his parents.
Yeah,
so he's adopted. So his mom's actually this character called Amanda Armstrong, and she's like a big rock star.
Yeah,
that ends up
superstar,
big superstar rock star that ends up getting recruited into Shield and kind of using her fame and fortune as like a way of being a spy.
Yeah, going to different locations and things like that, and she's able to get in with, I guess, the people she's spying on.
Yeah, with Shield, and then his dad, I think his name was Jude, or his biological father named Jude is,
Hydra agent.
what seemed to be like Shield, and then ended up being like, nope, I'm Hydra. So Stark is kind of like the byproduct of like a Hydra Shield culmination. In which thought like the mom thought that she killed the dad, stabbed him in the neck or something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, he's.
But they're all alive.
Yeah, a lot of people come back from the dead in this issue.
Yeah, pretty much. And then it just kind of goes on through things with like the Hood trying to take over Stark Enterprises.
Mm-hmm. And then Doctor Doom.
And that's what, because that happened a lot early on too. Doom kind of took the place of Iron Man also, so that was like a big like, what the heck, like with Stark.
Yeah,
like,
because it kind of ended the comic with saying,
because he didn't know.
Yeah, it kind of ended the comic with him saying like Doom really had no ulterior motives for doing this. He kind of just did it. They didn't understand why.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't understand why Doom was helping out because he's usually known as being a bad guy, but this time he was actually being the good guy.
Yeah.
And they had no explanation as to why he was doing that.
But so yeah, I mean the whole thing with stopping the Hood, regaining control, and then kind of culminating back at where the mom and dad was big Hydra. Like he brought Jude brought a bunch of Hydra people. So then that's what the whole team with like Riri and Miles Morales, and just a whole bunch of other team members kind of stopping Hydra, and then the reunion of everybody. Stark coming out, Rhodey, they're like, and then everyone's like, oh, you guys are alive. And,
that's right. The big end reveal where no one's dead anymore and they're all there, and then Tony Stark finds out about his dad as being alive again.
And that reaction, I love that too. That reaction, he's like, so that's my dad, huh? Yeah.
He didn't really care.
Yeah, he's like, oh, here's Hydra? Yeah, that's not gonna mess me up. Yeah. So it was like a whole. It was interesting.
Yeah, they were both bald, Tony Stark and
then their bald is kind of a byproduct of whatever, like the thing that brought them back. Like coming back.
There's a little comedy bit about that as well. So that was kind of basically issue 600.
600, and then it ended with like a crazy thing, man. It went into the future. So it was like this whole segment. It ends. And then the last couple pages was like in the future, and this girl's like knocking on the door, and it's like Kurt Wagner, who's the Nightcrawler. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I need to see the doctor or whatever. And then, she's not like here or something. She was wondering that. And then, lo and behold, it's like Stark like appears when he's like, no, I'm Dr. Anthony Stark, Sorcerer Supreme. Like somehow.
Yeah, because I think she asked for Doctor Strange, and he's like, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, but that name does not belong to me. No. And I am Dr. Anthony Stark.
Anthony Stark, yeah, so kind of interesting. I don't know, little tidbit and like to the future. Like
I was going to say issue 600 left me with more questions than answers.
Yeah,
I was
a little bit. Some of it might be just from a little sketchy on the stuff. Like I said, I weren't super caught up with the stuff leading up to it. It kind of was like in and out on the Iron Man stuff going on, but
still want to find out where Da Vinci came from.
I'm super excited on where it's gonna go from there. That's a couple issues now that they did a little thing with the future. Like I think the new Thor #1 did a similar thing at the end of that. Like did the little story, and then a couple things where he's like way into the future. He's like old and Odin, and he's like at the end of time, like the end of the universe kind of happening.
Yeah. So Marvel's kind of doing a future thing right now, huh?
Maybe something. It's some interesting stuff going on.
Nice. And then we have issue #1 as well, right?
And then Bendis, that's his final issue with 600. He's moved on to DC now. And then so Dan Slott took over for this Tony Tony Stark #1. So he ended his like a massive long run with Amazing Spider-Man. So he's been doing Amazing Spider-Man for a long time.
He's Iron Man.
Now I guess he's starting this new.
I guess I really liked issue #1, Tony Stark.
Yeah, so issue #1, it was a fun issue.
Yeah, it has everything you could possibly
Pretty
want.
much. I mean, it's clear. Like I think they've kind of been trying to get the feel of the movie, like the Robert Downey Jr. like the movie Iron Man into the comics, and for a while.
Yeah.
And hasn't quite gotten there. This one that feels like it's definitely the closest.
Yeah, I can really see Robert Downey Jr. saying some of the lines that this guy says. It opens up with robot soccer.
Yeah, into the past. It's like 25 years ago. Kind of introduces this new character. What's his name? Bear with me here. Bang. Andy Bang.
That's right, Bang. I thought his name was weird.
Yeah, Bang Robotics, and they're doing, obviously it's like some type of robot competition.
Yeah, it's a flashback between Tony Stark and him. Apparently they competed against each other when they were younger, and obviously Tony Stark's soccer robots were superior to his soccer robots.
Culmination, like right from the almost in the movie, it's like, you ready to go? It's like, yep. He just starts it, and it starts with like the y'all ready for this? Like the music, and it's on the words, and it's like reading it was like so visual. Like it's like I'm like playing it in my head.
Yeah,
it's like almost like a movie. How like they do like AC/DC all the time, with, like in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I got the exact same feeling.
You get that exact vibe on it, and it's real fun. And then his robots obviously they're like lifelike.
Yeah, his were way superior to the other guy's robots.
So skip ahead after that.
Yeah, so 25 years or present time.
Stark basically goes and recruits Andy Bang.
Yeah, so he goes. Andy Bang is in his garage basically, where he's kind of running his business out of, kind of
his little garage and basically
Macintosh Apple type of thing. But
kind of had that vibe, yeah. So Stark bought over like Bang Robotics or the company.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, so you work for me now. And he's like, so there's a whole thing. He kind of takes them
through. IBS, right? That was the name of his
what he was trying to do. Like, there's a little joke with that. It was,
irritable bowel syndrome.
But yeah. But it's basically he's trying to create this like a program that makes robots
work in unison together as a team, as opposed to trying a robot finding a hierarchy over the other one. So his program lets them all work together in unison, which that draws Tony Stark's attention. So he goes and recruits him and hires him on in his company. So the whole issue basically is Tony Stark showing him around.
Showing him Stark. It was a different branch of it. It was like
SU. So
Stark Unlimited. I believe it was what it was called. Yeah.
So he shows him around SU, and he gives him a little test program to run his idea over, and he ends up blowing up all Tony Stark's robots.
Yeah.
And then an alarm goes off, and this is where the fun begins, because
Fin Fang Foom.
A dragon shows up.
A dragon
and
shows
attacks
up.
New York. And then
Fin Fang Foom being totally Fin Fang Foom like. He's usually very talkative, very kind of like Thor-ish, like the Norse, like all that type of thing. But he's just kind of just this mindless dragon on a rampage.
Yeah.
So
like a Godzilla type thing, and so Tony Stark obviously went to go stop it.
Answers in kind. That was, man, it's crazy. So just with the whole suit thing, like
he gets a Megazord.
Pretty much.
Tony Stark gets a Megazord, and he fights a dragon. It was Dragonzord versus Megazord.
Yeah, it's just a giant Hulkbuster like iron, but like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, it was 20 stories tall.
Yeah, 20 stories tall.
And, the dragon breaks his Megazord, and then Tony Stark ejects from it and gets into his normal Iron Man suit, which looks awesome.
And then that part was awesome too, just with the comedic, like how he's like pinpointing like a weakness or trying to get into break through the thing.
They go into a whole entire.
So then Bang or the character Andy Bang was like, man, it's just like smog, and then this little robot boss like person is like, what's that? And he's like, The Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
And it's like, and she's just like, okay, I'll instantly download the thing. So, like, oh, that was quite an enjoyable book.
That was awesome. They had a little smog.
Yeah, a little smog reference, like a little Hobbit reference in there. It was cool, really enjoyable.
Cool. And then Tony Stark sends a nano-sized Iron Man suit into the dragon. Fin Fang Foom.
Fin Fang Foom. Yeah. And finds a little control chip in there.
Mm-hmm. So that's why he's going rampaging over New York, because there's a little microchip in him.
And he's trying to figure out, he has like thousands of nanobytes, but they're not working together. And that's when Andy Bang kind of figures out, like, oh, you had the solution all along from 25 years ago. It's not they need a cue, a beat.
Yeah, so basically they have a dance routine inside the dragon where they play a song, and all the robots...
They bring back the y'all ready for this song again, and they all will start working together. Yeah.
Yeah, so they savor the power of dance. So it was a pretty...
It was a fun...
I liked it a
fun
lot.
issue.
It was,
like,
the dialogue's great.
And even the culmination at the end with the press conference. It was, again, almost right out of the movies.
Yeah,
like kind of how he plays
if you guys
press conferences.
Looking for a Iron Man comic book series that stays or kind of brings in the movie Iron Man that
the likeness of it.
Yeah, we've all grown to love. This issue's for you.
Pretty good, man. It's pretty fun. My only thing with it is I don't understand. So it really brings nothing from issue 600 over to
at
it.
all.
It does.
It's completely a revamp, and
I mean, they bring there's like one little line about kind of how you had a life-changing experience or a life threat. It kind of alludes to what happened before.
It touches on it, but nothing
brings
learned.
over. Yeah, with the
which
parents.
we might see more. Carrying on as the issues go on. I think this is just kind of like I said, the fun.
Yeah, kind of the first. I hope so. I was like, I want to see more of that stuff with just him rebuilding his life, kind of.
The cover of issue 2 looks awesome.
Yes.
Iron Man who's buried in a bunch of...
So it's going to basically kind of bringing the controller in. That was the little epilogue thing.
That's how it ended, right?
Yeah, it ended with like the controller with, I don't know if it was a clone of like his head of security or if it was the head
That was confusing. So
security.
Bethany Cade, is that her name?
I can't remember the actual name. But yeah, it was like his head of security of that branch, and then all of a sudden, like the
all of a sudden she's either working for him or it is a robot or clone version of her. And so that's how it kind of ends, because the whole issue they've been trying to figure out who's been hacking into Tony Stark's like program and stuff like that, like who's the one been hacking into it,
right? And
then it kind of leads that she is the one, or this clone is the one that's been kind of infiltrating the Stark technology. So I think that's kind of where they're going with it.
So I'm excited. I'm gonna keep reading it.
As it goes on. These issues. This issue was fun. If you guys want a good Iron Man comic book to read, definitely check this one out.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable.
All right, guys. Fortnite. It's video game of the week we're gonna be talking about. Fortnite is basically a PvP battle royale online shooter. So if you like shooters, this might be one you might be interested in. It's
a little different.
What do you think about it?
Like a survival type game, last man standing, battle royale.
So that part's
I
fun.
think that's kind of what they're calling these.
Yeah, they're battle royale
games. But yeah, we're talking about this. There was a comment left on our first video.
Yeah, so we thought we'd talk about it,
asking us to do Fortnite.
I played it a bit. Mostly they have solo, teams, and then squad.
You can go by yourself.
So squad is a max of 4 people. You get your friends together. You guys get on one team. And you try to be the last team standing. And I mean, the game is fun. I do enjoy it. I don't. It's not my favorite shooter of all time. The mechanics are kind of different. Aiming is so difficult in this game, at least for me. Some people are very, very good at it. They can snipe you from across the map. I cannot. I'm so bad.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this game. I'll be honest.
The cool thing about Fortnite, at least I found, is the building aspect. I thought that was a really, really cool mechanic they added to this kind of game. Basically, you find different materials, wood, bricks, metals, and you can build walls, bridges, forts, kind of to the name. And it adds a different dynamic to this, just straight up and like see the person and shoot them, because you can be shooting at somebody that can build a wall and then build a bridge to you and shoot you from above. So it does add a different little aspect to the game, which I do find to be fun and different and creative. So that part's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have like anything bad to say about Fortnite. It's a good game. It's fun. Not like great. Like it's not super like my kind of cup of tea type of game. I'm not.
So if you like online multiplayer shooters,
Yeah.
it might be fun for you.
No, for sure. I mean, it's huge right now. It's like
it's probably one of those. It's probably the most popular game out right now.
Yeah, you got people peeing their pants and they can't. They don't want to die. And they got
That's insane.
Like causing this whole game disorder thing going on now too. That just made that a thing in the.
That's like, right. Huh? You can now claim that you are
gaming disorder.
Gaming disorder, so you can get time off of work and get help because you have a gaming disorder. So there you go. If you want to play more video games,
I mean, that's probably been a long time, kind of like a case been building a lot. But yeah, this whole thing, right?
And what's cool is that Fortnite incorporated Infinity War into its game as. Actually,
they've been doing that a lot, like in John Wick and.
You can be John Wick in it, but Thanos was a playable character, so it actually had its own Thanos mode, where if you found the Infinity Gauntlet, you became Thanos for a little bit and just basically destroyed everybody who got in your path. So that was cool. They added a shopping cart little function into it to where you can put your friend around in a shopping cart. It was actually pretty fun to do that. Because you build little bridges and you can get to your shopping cart and just roll down and just have fun, basically.
Yeah, it's fun. I definitely like the cartoony, like arcadey like aspect of Fortnite. It's
the animation.
I guess it's more appealing to me. Like and I do like the I don't think I've ever really built anything in it. I haven't gotten that advanced.
Yeah, there are people who are
in the
very,
game. It's
very
a cool game mechanic. It's a cool thing to do. I like watching people that are good do it.
Yeah, something about this kind of game too. Most online shooters, like if you stop playing for 1 week, you basically become obsolete. It's kind of hard to pick it up after a week and still be competitive. Some people might be great at it and be able to do that, but I'm definitely not one of those people.
I like playing like the squad.
Definitely
mode. Like you get a couple a few friends in the squad. I dig that. It's fun to play that. It's not a game where I'm just gonna like kind of hop on by myself and do it. Like I said, if I'm just gonna play a game just to pass the time, like something like that with nothing, I usually stick to like fighting games. That's kind of
Yeah, but overall, Fortnite is enjoyable. If you're good at online shooters, definitely try it out. You might enjoy it. If you like online shooters with different aspects to it, like the building, to where you have to get good at that and also at the shooting part, then yeah, it's challenging. It definitely does challenge you. There are people who are very, very good at it, so just be prepared for that.
Yeah. A bit of a learning curve, I guess. Yeah, all the items too. Like you get items like potions and
so the whole point of the game is you want to loot first and then find people later, because basically you want to find the right guns you want to build your shield up so you have
because you start with nothing. You start with nothing. Like a pickaxe.
Pickaxe that doesn't do much damage at all, but it can break through walls and things like that. And
which is cool. I like that stuff too. You break into like homes and
you can destroy an entire house with your pickaxe.
You're on this island and it's basically like this. There's like a fog or something environment. That's the whole thing. So it's over time it shrinks down, and so it forces everybody to move.
Yeah, that is awesome. And if you get stuck into the storm, you die. Your house slowly drains, and if you can't run out of it, it ends up killing you. And you want to collect items, collect building materials, find a good gun, make sure you have ammo for that gun. So when you do encounter somebody, you're prepared and you can hopefully kill them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of funny on a squad team. If you do get killed or knocked down, you don't die right away, you end up crawling on the floor for a little bit because your team can't revive you.
Like a last stand type of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that like the Call of Duty?
Yep.
Like, yeah.
So you don't just die right away. Your team can come revive you, but usually that just ends up screwing you up even more because someone will knock you down and then they'll build materials around you, so they trap you in a little box, and then you have to sit there and slowly wait till your health drains down and you die. So that can be frustrating. But if you're the one doing it, it can be fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements to it, a lot of different ways to play.
Yeah, so you can. If you're good at it, you'll definitely enjoy it more.
And you can still try to. I mean, you can be the person that kind of camps out, hides a little bit to kind of get.
That's
up
how
there.
I found success in that game.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to play, so it kind of does bring a little bit of trying to get all levels of skill. I mean,
I mean, you can do different strategies. Like I said, you can either hide. There's actually an item in the game that's a bush, so you can just turn on the bush and just stand there, and hopefully no one recognizes that you're not a real bush. And then
kind of like cardboard box and Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, but
yeah, so it's a fun game. Like I said, if you were better at it, you'll enjoy it more than most. But yeah, give it a try. See how you like it. If you like shooters, if you like online shooters, PvP type stuff, battle royale, definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. You guys will probably like it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't. It's fine for me. It's not a game I'm gonna play like a lot, but
yeah, so
maybe if it was back in the day, like I probably would have been a lot more into it. Like back in my old like Counter-Strike days, used to play a lot of that. So, but nowadays it's but yeah, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a fun game.
Yeah, animation might be one thing that kind of turns people away because it is kind of cartoony. It doesn't really have the realistic look to it, but if that doesn't bother you at all, then yeah.
Yeah, if that's more your style, kind of like your Overwatch type of, cartoony type thing, for sure. You'll probably like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's the last segment we're going to talk about. Again, I'm Jay.
Yeah, and I'm Andrew. Definitely feel like, don't feel free to comment. Please.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want us to check out. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Yep.